Hello and welcome back to Music Rewind. Today we're moving on to episode 5 of our series on One Direction's solo careers. Today we're looking at the last member to go solo, Liam Payne. Before Liam started releasing solo material, he actually worked as a producer under the name Big Payno and remixed several tracks including Cheryl's I Don't Care and even a few One Direction songs. Strip That Down featuring Quavo was released in May of 2017. And was written alongside Ed Sheeran amongst others. The song is a trap-influenced pop R&B tune which draws a lot of influence from Justin Timberlake. The song talks about wealth and newfound independence away from the band. The song received mixed reviews, with Rolling Stone calling it a summer club banger, but Time listed it as one of the worst songs of 2017. Commercially, it did very well. It hit the top 20 in 22 charts worldwide. In the UK, Strip That Down debuted at number 3, becoming the 4th member to debut in the top 10. The song was a huge success in the UK. It spent 25 weeks on the top 100 and 9 weeks in the top 10, which lasted longer than any other debut single, and also spent the most weeks inside the top 40 than all the other members. The song was the 20th biggest song of 2017 and has also gone platinum. In the US, the song peaked at number 10, becoming the 3rd member to get a Hot 100 top 10 following Zayn and Harry Styles. As a result, One Direction joined the Beatles, Fleetwood Mac, and New Edition to have at least 3 members with solo Hot 100 songs reach the top 10. With Liam, his tracks were released very frequently in comparison to the other members. In 2017, he released 3 songs, Strip That Down, Get Low featuring Zayn, and Bedroom Floor. The last 2 releases did chart decently worldwide. Although they peaked low on the Hot 100, they peaked within the top 30 in the UK chart. In 2018, he released 4 songs, For You with Rita Ora, Familiar with J Balvin, Third Time with French Montana, and Polaroid with Jonas Blue and Lennon Stella. First Time didn't chart anywhere, but the others didn't do too badly. For You was the lead single from the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack. The song reached the top 10 in 22 countries worldwide. The song reached number 8 on the UK chart and was the 3rd most played song on UK radio in 2018 and went platinum. Familiar featuring J Balvin is a Latin pop inspired song and is regarded as one of Liam's best songs and my personal favourite, with many comparing the song to Despacito and Señorita by Justin Timberlake. The song mainly achieved success around Europe. In the UK, the song peaked at number 14 and spent 19 weeks on, and subsequently went gold. Finally, Polaroid featuring Jonas Blue and Lennon Stella. This is an R&B dance club song and was praised for its production and irresistible chorus. The song went number 1 on the US dance chart, but overall it was a success around Europe. In the UK, it was a sleeper hit, but eventually peaked at number 12, but it did hit number 3 on the sales chart, and again went gold. In 2019, he released his last 3 songs, but they were released towards the end of the year and underperformed. Stack It Up featuring A Boogie with the Hoodie was released in September of 2019 and is his first charting single to miss the UK top 40, peaking at number 84 and spent only 2 weeks on. His next release was his Christmas song All I Want for Christmas, which was released at the end of October, but it did chart during the Christmas week at number 73. He released his 7th single from the album, Live Forever, featuring Cheat Codes in December, but that has failed to chart. So as we can see, he's had great success with his singles between 2017 and 2018 because we had a variety of different sounds, including pop, hip-hop, R&B, dance, Latin, and a lot more. I think the last few singles haven't been as successful because they're nothing we haven't heard from Liam, so the connection with the public was lost. His debut album faced many delays before finally being released at the end of 2019. Now, before we get into the album, let's see what else he's been doing before the release. We know in 2017, just before the release of his debut single, he became a dad with his girlfriend at the time, Cheryl. So I would think, like Louis, his child would be a priority for him. Business-wise, or we can actually call it fashion-wise, he became the global ambassador for Hugo Boss. It's not much of a surprise that Liam did this because he does fit the model criteria really well, as he is a very good-looking guy. But enough of my jealousy. Stars like Shawn Mendes, Justin Bieber, and Nick Jonas have done similar moves for brands such as Calvin Klein, and that definitely raised his profile. Now for the music. According to Liam, the record was initially supposed to be released in January 2018, and that the album would have some dark pop, some super urban tracks, and a lot of trap music. In May 2018, he said on GMA that he would release his album on September 14th. However, in August, he announced the album would yet again be delayed, but released the EP first time to make up for it. The EP included 4 songs. It mainly had an R&B sound, and I personally liked what I heard. These songs were well produced and showed off some versatility as to what he could do, going from a trap song to a piano ballad. The album didn't peak on any official charts, and that was mainly because the EP had very minimal promotion. Now going on to the album, titled LP1. The whole reason I actually started this series was because I was initially writing a review for this album and came up with the idea for this series. I was so disappointed with this album, and I had so much hope because I genuinely love his singles. But the best part of this album are the singles. The only album track I liked was Say It All. He worked on that song with Stargate and Ryan Tedder, and the song compared to the rest of the album is a masterpiece because he showed off his vocal ability and maturity, whilst other songs like Rude Hour and Both Ways make him look like a knockoff Chris Brown. The album received heavy criticism because they accused him of fetishizing bisexual women on Both Ways. Now, what I will say about that is that Liam isn't the first artist to do that, so I'm not going to comment on that scandal, but it's a really bad song, and that's the problem. He had so much potential, and I'm not the only one who has this opinion. The album received mixed to negative reviews. It was actually the worst reviewed album in 2019, on Metacritic only getting a 44. I think The Guardian's review says it best. LP1 is a terrible pop album, but a very effective contraception. His whole appeal is being sexy, but this is a far cry from Justin Timberlake's Future Sex Love Sounds, which I think was his inspiration, but missed the mark by a lot. Word of mouth is a real thing. A bad review can wreck your chances of success, and that happened with this album. The album failed to reach the top 10 on any official chart. In the UK, it was predicted the album would hit number 8, but ultimately peaked at number 17. It's the only album from the One Direction members not to hit the top 10. The album managed to spend only 6 weeks on, which I will say is a lot longer than I thought it would stay on, but poor in comparison to the other members. Worldwide, it didn't do much better. The album charted on 14 official charts worldwide, including 5 countries where it peaked below the top 100. In the US, the album went to number 111 and dropped off the chart the next week. That's a lot of ones for an album that didn't go number 1. The album's underperformance comes mainly because of constant delays. Like I said in Harry's videos, people get bored because the previous anticipation evaporates and the interest is lost. I would also say bad reviews didn't help the case either, but at the same time, Charlie Puth's debut got worse reviews than Liam's album, but still did great on this chart because of big singles, such as See You Again and We Don't Talk Anymore. So that helped with album sales. To summarize Liam Payne, he is the most mainstream member of One Direction. His voice works with a lot of genres. His singles in comparison to the other members of One Direction have actually done pretty good. In the UK, he has a healthy chart presence, with all entries up to 2019 peaking in the top 30, and spent an average of 16 weeks on the chart. And in certified sales, he sold 2.2 million singles in the UK alone. Liam, I think, has a lot of talent, and I think alongside Zayn and Harry, he has one of the best voices in the group. What happened to Liam's album performance is actually something quite common, where the singles might do great, but the album underperforms in comparison to its single success. This has happened to Jason Derulo, Flo Rida, and Rita Ora, just to name a few. Now, I'm not calling them flops, just pointing out that their singles achieved a lot more success than their album did. I do think Liam set out with good intentions, but I think he got caught up in trying to be like Justin Timberlake, Chris Brown, and Usher, which I do think is a good route for him to take, but I think he needs to find the right direction where the influence and the inspiration doesn't come off as a rip-off parody of them. I still see potential in him. Thank you for watching part 5 of this series. I hope you enjoyed it. You can watch the previous episodes of this series, which should be on screen right now. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment about what you think about Liam's career. I will see you in the next video where we try and work out who is the most successful member of One Direction.